Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely week and that you're enjoying learning lots and lots of different things about worms. Who's managed to find some worms in their garden this week? I tried to do a little bit of digging and I found two big worms. I found a really, really long worm and then quite a short worm. So I was looking at different sizes of the worms in my garden that I could find. And that's what we've been learning about this week as well, hasn't it? Different sizes and measuring things, long and short things. So today I thought it would be quite a nice idea to read a different sort of story. So my story today is called Worm Looks for Lunch, but it's written in a slightly different way. It's written like a little play, just like when you go to the theatre or when we've been to the arts depot. We go and watch a play or we watch a performance. And in the performance, there are always characters. That means the different people who are in the play. So I'm going to open the story first and we're going to look at the characters that are in my little play today. So the first person is the storyteller. So that's the person who's going to read the story. And then there are lots of characters. So the first one is there is a worm, and then there is a rabbit, and a deer, a beetle, and a bird. So these are the characters that are in my story today, or in my little play today. Let's see how we get on. The play begins on a piece of ground under a large tree. Worm wiggles out of the ground. One day, Worm wiggled out of the ground. Worm said, "Earth, earth, earth. I'm fed up with earth for lunch. I'm going to look for some new food." So Worm wiggles over the grass towards Rabbit. Worm wiggled over the grass. And Rabbit said, "Hello, Worm." And Worm said, "Hello, who are you?" "I'm a rabbit," said Rabbit. And Worm said, "What do you like to eat?" And Rabbit said, "I like eating grass." And Worm said, "I think I'd like to try some grass." So Worm tried to eat some grass. Well, I wonder if he's going to like it. Has anyone fed their worms grass this week? Worm said, pulling a face, "No, I don't like grass. It's too chewy." So Worm wiggled along to a tree, and there he met a deer under the tree. Deer said, "Hello, Worm." And Worm says, "Hello, who are you?" Deer says, "I am a deer." And the Worm says, "What do you like to eat?" And the deer says, "I like eating bark." Do you remember when we were talking, back in the autumn term, when we first went to nursery, back in September and October time, we were talking about trees in the autumn time, and we talked about the tree trunk, and we talked about the tree's branches and the leaves, and we said the trunk and the big branches were covered in something called bark. The bark was on the trunk of the tree. Do you remember? Well, Worm said, "I think I'll try some bark." So Worm tried some bark. "Oh no, I don't like bark. It's much too hard," said the Worm. So Worm wiggled up the tree "Hello, Worm," said a beetle. "Hello," said Worm. "Who are you?" "I'm a beetle," said Beetle. "And what do you like to eat?" said the Worm. And Beetle said, "I like eating leaves." Look, he's sitting on a big leaf here, munching away. He looks like he's really enjoying those leaves, doesn't he? And Worm said, "I think I'd like to try a leaf." So Worm tried a leaf. "Oh no, I don't like this leaf. It's far too dry," said Worm. So Worm wiggled along a twig, and he met a bird. And Bird said, "Hello, Worm." And Worm said, "Hello, who are you?" Bird said, I'm a bird." And Worm said, "What do you like to eat?" "Let's think. I like eating beetles," said Bird. Looking upset, Worm said, "Oh no! Beetle, Beetle, run and hide, or the bird will eat you." "No, I won't," said the bird. And Worm said, "You won't? Why not?" "Oh dear, because there's something else I like even better than beetles," said Bird. And Worm said, "What's that?" And Bird said, "I like eating worms." And Worm was very scared, and he said, "Oh no! Look, the bird is going to fly down and the little worm's here, and his sharp beak is coming towards the bird to eat the poor little worm." Worm is so scared he falls off the tree. And then the storyteller finishes the story and says, Worm fell off the tree. He landed on the earth and wriggled safely back into the ground. So he wiggled. Remember, he used his nose, part of his front of his face, and he burrows down underneath the ground so that the bird won't be able to see him anymore. Worm was very happy. Earth, earth, earth. Yum, yum, yum. So now he's much happier eating the thing that he really enjoys eating. And do you remember at the beginning of the week we were talking about what worms like to eat, and one of their favourite things to eat was mud and earth. And do you remember they liked to eat the little grit and the stones that were inside that churned up and grinded down the food that were in their tummies? So that was the end of my play today. A different type of storytelling today, and it was called Worm Looks for Lunch. Right, shall we finish? Quite fancy a little bit of a sing-song. Shall we try our little rhyme again? There's the worm at the bottom of the garden. I will put it on the podcast this week as well, so that if you want to listen to it lots of times and join in, you can learn the words. But we'll sing it one more time today, all together. So I've got my little wooden worm that the postman brought me the other day, so we can use this again. There's a worm at the bottom of my garden. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. There's a worm at the bottom of my garden, and his name is Wiggly Woo. There's a worm at the bottom of my garden, and all that he can do is a wiggle all night and a wiggle all day, so that the folks might say, there's a worm at the bottom of my garden, and his name is Wiggly, wig, wig, wiggly, wig, wig, wiggly, woo! It's a nice way to end the story today. So I will see you back again tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Keep worm hunting and keep looking for all those mini beasts in your garden. And I look forward again to seeing all your photographs. Take care.